welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are all having a lovely day. And in this video I would like to share with you my review of something a little bit different from my usual content. It is not a model kit or an action figure review, but a display case rather. So a little while ago, when I did a review of the new Hot Toys Superman and Crypto, I also reviewed the Apextime Chaos Ultra display case. While I display most of my model kits and action figures on open shelves with built-in LEDs, I was at the time on the lookout for some enclosed premium style display cases for some of my most cherished collectibles, and that search led me to the Apextime. Back when we looked at the Chaos Ultra display case, I found it to be fairly easy to assemble, having pretty good built-in lights, especially because they did not have any flicker on the camera and had pretty accurate color temperature indication. And the power connection daisy chain feature was also a pretty nice touch. What I did not like about the original case, however, were a couple of things that I thought could have been done better. First, while the case could be controlled via the included remote, it was not capable of remembering its own light and power configuration. So if you were to unplug it from a power outlet and plug it back in, you would need to use the included remote to power the lights back on and reconfigure them. This really sucked, as automatic light and on and off control is super easy to do via something like a smart outlet like Philips Hue or Govee or any other brand. And while you could argue that using the remote is not that big of a deal, I would very much disagree, as running around your house with a bunch of remotes twice a day is just not a good user experience. And second, the bottom of the display case had an opening hatch with quite a bit of room, but there was no USB-A or C port to plug in your LEDs, so that space felt like a bit of a wasted space to me. Once again, you could say that having that space meant that a custom mod was easy, and to that I would say sure, of course you can do that, but for a premium solution that costs over $100, I think we expect that to be included. I also had some basic wishes like the RGB light options or a detachable power cable at the power brick, and that is not the case. But those were rather suggestions for improvement than critiques. Overall, I really liked that case, and I ended up buying a few more for my personal display arrangement, and we also gave away one of these bad boys on the channel. What I did not expect was Apextime actually checking out my video and sharing their plans to release an updated version that was going to supposedly account for most, if not all, of my reservations and issues with the Chaos Ultra. And they also offered to send me one of the new Chaos X cases for review. And complete disclosure here, I did allow Apextime to send me one of their new Chaos X cases for a review, and I promised them that I would share my review of it publicly. I did not allow any creative or editorial input, nor was it requested by the company. All of my takes and comments are always my own, and I'm fully aware of the cost of this product and will be taking it into account, even though I did not pay for this review copy of the case. With that being said, if you decide to buy one of these bad boys, consider checking out Gundamit, and a quick message about the store. I buy almost all of my figures and third-party kits at Gundamit.com. They offer great prices, awesome customer service, and a nice points program. If you decide to shop for your next kit or figure there and would like to support this channel even more, consider using reviewer code SKH. It helps the channel a lot. As always, do your own research and only purchase from stores that you are comfortable with. Now, back to the video. Now let's get to the juicy part. Chaos X came unassembled in a shipping box very similar to that of the Chaos Ultra. It measures 15 by 18 by 8 inches and weighs about 5.5 kilos. The case needs to be assembled in a few steps using the included manual. The assembly is not difficult, but a little finicky, as you will need to balance some parts trying to secure them in place without pinching any of the wires. Apextime gives you a couple of dry tools and a tiny screwdriver, so no need to bring any of your own tools. One issue I noticed during the assembly is a typo in the guide. When you install and wire the top cover, the pillar names on the diagram are mislabeled, which can be a bit confusing. There are some other typos, like with the total number of screws, but those are negligible and should not affect your building experience. So keep that typo in mind, be patient, and it will take no more than 20 to 30 minutes to put this bad boy it together. Also, unlike with the Chaos Ultra, Chaos X will have you put together a metal X base to support the bottom of the case. The X base parts seem to be milled from solid chunks of aluminum and they look pretty dope. Once assembled, you will need to download Apextime official mobile app to control the case. Their app comes with a pretty extensive sandbox mode and a whole bunch of pre-configured static and dynamic modes. Unlike Chaos Ultra, X's light strips are RGB and have individually addressable LEDs, either by creating your own or by using one of the pre-built LED modes. There are some really cool lighting effects with a lot of room for creative, dynamic and static light setups. Furthermore, Chaos X seems to have persistent memory for its power state and light configuration, which means that once it is set up and switched on, if you unplug and then plug the case back in, the lights turn back on their own and resume their previous configuration. And since you don't get a remote with the case, and the one from Chaos Ultra won't work with this new one, you will have to use the mobile app to change modes, brightness, turn it on and off, etc, etc. Also, since the physical construction of Chaos X is practically the same to Chaos Ultra, you still get a front glass door and 3 other panels are made of thin plexiglass. The rear one is mounted on screws and the side ones use magnets so can be removed pretty easily when needed. A side note here, if the side panel's magnets don't seem to line up, just flip the panel around. The cutouts and magnet placements inside the case aren't perfectly symmetrical. Then on the inside of the case we still get a rather spacious opening hatch. I'm honestly still not quite sure what it is for, but now we also get a single USB-A power port that is wired into the case's own power supply. This is a great addition as I now can display my modern nuclear G2 build with its stunning custom LEDs turned on. Oh, and the USB plug always has power, even when the case lights are turned off. So all in all, the Chaos X seems to be an evolution of the previous Chaos Ultra display case, while keeping the same dimensions, so it should be easy to integrate in your existing displays if you already have a bunch of Chaos Ultra cases. And speaking of integration with previous Apextime cases, I also have a few things that I think you should be aware of. First, while the new metal X base is cool, it can be quite loose. They do warn you about manufacturing tolerances on the base, but I mean, this thing can be fairly flimsy. Then we do not get a set of sticker rubber feet for the bottom of the case, like we had with the Chaos Ultra. It won't matter if you plan to use the X base, but without it and with no rubber feet, the case will not be stable as the bottom plate has a protruding square in the middle. Then while it is cool to have the USB-A power port, I don't fully understand why the port had to be put outside of that hatch. I still might be missing the purpose of the hatch, but honestly it seems that having the USB power sideways inside the hatch would have allowed us to also manage the excess wires. Then the mobile app. The sandbox feature is really cool. Since I filmed this video a few days ago, I ended up creating a few custom static and dynamic modes. It is pretty easy to use and I have not encountered any major glitches quite yet. But, and I had Apextime to confirm this to me actually, you must create an account in order to use this app. It seems to be the same platform for the mobile app as the Cosmos universe, as they both have exactly the same interfaces, and it honestly sucks that we have to share our personal information to create an account just to control a set of lights. I don't agree with this approach, even though it is not specific to Apextime, rather a common trend these days, and I would much rather see an anonymous mode option here. Then more on the mobile app. While we get dozens of pre-made static and dynamic LED modes in the app, you cannot modify those modes even just to simply change the brightness, which also sucks. At first I didn't want to create my own LED modes and was going to use one of the hunting light dynamic presets because I really liked it, but having it at full brightness light show was starting to piss me off in less than 30 minutes. Then the power. Chaos X requires 24 volt 6 amps I believe, while Ultra needed only 12 volts and 5 amps. This means that daisy chaining Chaos X and Ultra in one stack is not going to work. I don't know if they could have somehow accounted for it ahead of time, but maybe through something like a custom adapter with a buck converter for voltage reduction, I don't know. But besides that, the power cable and brick that this case comes with is a bit of an inconvenience too. You basically get a 6-foot wire that goes to the case and a power brick that plugs directly into the outlet. First, 6 feet is just too short, and second, I freaking hate dealing with larger power bricks that plug directly into the outlets because they take up so much space. I would much rather they had a universal 2-prong power port on the brick and a separate cable that goes to the outlet. That way, you have more convenience and even some redundancy to replace one of the power wires with a standard generic solution. I know it's probably a minor thing in the general scheme of things, but I think it is an important bit of info, especially as we consider the final point, and that is the price. While Chaos Ultra comes at around $130 at the time of this review, Chaos X comes at a whopping $250, almost double the price. At $130, Chaos Ultra was not a super banking deal already, but honestly, if not for the lack of persistent memory, I would have said the case was the go-to for your most cherished collectibles, and buying a few of those was not too big of a deal, honestly. But for $250, oof, things are getting quite steep here, I'm not gonna lie. I would say we are in a different ultra-premium league now, and I am not sure how much of this price is the seemingly super expensive solid metal X-frame base, and how much of it is the new wiring and lights setup and the mobile app. While I can understand getting one of these for your centerpiece in the collection, or if you got the funds, I don't think Chaos X is as good of a deal as the Chaos Ultra. Maybe if there was a version of Chaos X that did not include the metal base and came at around $180, or heck, even if they simply had a refreshed Chaos Ultra simply with persistent memory feature at around $130–140, that would be a really good option for some stackage and an okay value. But as it comes at $250, I personally expect a nearly perfect product. And in that regard, the USB-A port that sticks out, a short power cable, and having to create an account to use the mobile app, all these things make the value a little more questionable. And if none of these matter to you and price is not an issue, then Chaos X is arguably the coolest mass-produced display case solution on the market today. It's pretty well constructed, has individually addressable RGB LED lights, can be fully controlled via a mobile app, has a built-in USB-A port to let your figure come to life, and its metal base is a hefty statement piece to round it all up. And one more thing regarding the cost of Chaos X, this case comes with a built-in speaker in the bottom plate, so it plays like a startup sound. I honestly am not sure why this is even a feature, but I guess if that is something you're into, Chaos X can be your little boombox. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, this product was provided for review by Apextime, but they did not pay me for this review and had no editorial or creative input on the video, nor did they ask for it. If you, however, want to buy one of these bad boys for yourself, consider checking out Gundamit.com and use reviewer code SKH. It helps me make more cool videos like this. And that is about it. Thank you to Apextime for providing this case for review, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop a like if you like the video and a comment if you really do. Subscribe for more cool content like this. I also have model kit therapy live streams every Saturday where we get to chill and build some model kits together, listen to some tunes and rant about whatever. Join in and enjoy good vibes. Also, all of my gear and tools are listed in the description of all of my videos. Some of the links are affiliates and some give you nice discounts, and every time you use them you go an extra mile to support this channel. I also recently started a Facebook community page where I post high-res pictures of my builds, including work-in-progress shots and various other community updates. Check out the link in the description and join it. I would love to see you all share your builds out there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.